Retro.
Hi, this is Emily Swallow, the Armorer in The Mandalorian. You're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. This is the way.
Ho, 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 and welcome to Podcast Stardust. This is the fully armed and operational podcast dedicated to Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. I'm Dennis Keithley.
And I'm Jay Krebs.
And we are celebrating Christmas and the holidays with a special gift-giving episode of Podcast Stardust. But before we get into the joyous festivities, Jay, I want to remind everybody what our social media contacts are.
Yes, and you'll always be on the nice list if you hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust.
Okay, the gist is aligned. The stockings are hung from the fireplace. The signal is boosted to maximum output. The cookies and the milk are out for Santa. The shield is down. The halls are decked, and we are now broadcasting to the galaxy. This is our holiday celebration here on Podcast Stardust. So this is another tradition that we do in December on the podcast, where we just have some fun. It's kind of evolved over the years, but we've kind of settled into, we pick characters from shows that were relevant over the past year, and we randomly use a random number generator and figure out who we're going to give gifts to, and we come up with some ideas. And sometimes we have characters give gifts to each other, and that has mixed results. But with that being said, let's dive into the gift giving season. And Jay, you are up first.
Okay.
And you need to come up with a gift for none other than Saw Gerrera.
Oh, for Saw. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's see. We could do a couple of different things for Saw. One, we could get him a nice kit that helps him clean out his breathing machine. I know that there's some really nice things out there for that. And I think I would really like to get him a appointment with a great barber, because as much as I just love his unique style, I think that he could use just a little bit to get him back in the game, kind of thing. Like, I've actually been watching some of these transformation video kind of things on Instagram, where some of these barbers are, take these guys that are a little rough around the edges, and give them these wonderful new looks and new do's and that kind of thing. So I think that, Saw needs a little bit of pampering. So I would probably go for that for Saw.
I've just got this vision in my head, like, Saw opening a package on Christmas morning. It's a new CPAP machine that you just left for him.
Yeah,
because he can't sleep at night.
Right. See, I care about the dude. I want him to get a good
passages. Snoring every day, more snoring. So yeah,
You've
like
come to kill me. No, I've come to cure you, Saw. Honestly, dude.
All right. So my first gift giving occasion here is Omega from the Bad Batch, and of course
Omega.
we did the Sanctuary novel. And what do I give Omega? And frankly, at the time of Sanctuary, she and the rest of the Bad Batch were stuck on Pabu. So I am sending her. Okay, I know exactly what it is. Those large tins of popcorn that are popular at Christmas time and the holidays? I'm getting one of those filled with Mantel Mix.
Perfect.
Because she and Wrecker cannot get that on Pabu, or at least not the traditional time kind that they get from Ord Mantell. So she can decide whether or not she's going to split that with Wrecker, or how much she wants to eat before she reveals to Wrecker that she's got it, because I have a feeling he would devour a huge chunk of that. So that is what I am getting for Omega.
Awesome. What a great choice.
Okay, so up next on the list, Jay, you've got Jedi Master Skier.
Oh, Skier. Oh my gosh. Okay, he needs, wow, what could I get for Skier? He needs so many things. Poor dude, he's had a year.
Mm-hmm.
with having the McGrath syndrome and having to go through kind of coming back into himself and having these like little existential crises. But yet, he was able to pull it back together and be the Jedi that he was meant to be. But, like I said, he's had a rough year. So all I can think of when I think of Skier is he's, of course, got this very lizard-like skin. So I'm always going for, the self-care kinds of things. Dude needs a pedicure. So I think I would love to send him to some, lovely temple spa so he could, just kind of get into that. And because we've seen him with the tattered robes, and boy, he's just really, really gotten out there and put himself out there. So he needs some pampering too, I feel like.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. The only other thing I
Yeah.
can think of right now is that he's the Jedi liaison for Keeve Trennis
Hmm.
there at the end of the High Republic. So some sort of idiot's guide to being a liaison out there would benefit him.
That would be
So
fun.
yeah, okay. Let's see. So I have drawn Luthen Rail is up
Nice.
next in the gift giving. Man, what do you get this guy? I mean, he has
The
an
guy that has
entire
everything. Yeah.
the store full of
Literally.
antiquities there. So okay, so I'm thinking back to his speech from season 1 about how when he's asked by Lonnie about, what have you sacrificed, right? And he's going on about, decency, kindness, and I sacrifice, everything for sunrise that I'm never going to see, and what do I sacrifice? Everything. So how do you give him back everything? You're talking about pampering skier here. I'm sending Luthen on a cruise on
Nice.
this case because yeah, it's not everything, but it's at least a day off where he's going to get an opportunity to enjoy some sights, enjoy some sunrises, which is exactly what he was complaining about over a blue ocean. So a cruise for Luthen Rail. That is where we are going.
I love it. I love it. That's a
And
good one.
so up next on the list, Jay, what are you getting for Marcion Row?
Ooh. One of my favorite characters ever. Oh, I love to hate Martian Rowe and I hate to love him too.
Mhm.
So, oh my goodness. Okay, well, what could I get Markian? Well, maybe hmm, how about, gosh, could I go heartfelt? Could I go funny? Gosh, this is a hard one. All right, I think the dude needs a shirt. So, because he's always just kind of bare chested and whatever. So, I mean, I know that he loves to show off his path tats and that type of thing, but maybe we could get him a little bit of a makeover with, even if it was just like a quarter zip kind of thing. Come on, Markian, you can do this. But as far as maybe in universe kind of things. Oh, wow, we could get him, I don't know, maybe a reconstructed path engine kind of thing. Um,
No, we don't want him escaping here.
yeah.
He needs to be confined to his
Yeah, this
prison
is
there.
true. Because the
Yeah.
last time we see him or we hear from him is that he is in this prison where he is only around droids that don't even speak, and that's the thing with him is that he loves his little personal monologues, and there's no one to actually react to him. Dude's gonna go crazy in there. So yeah, there's really not much we can get him other than maybe some of his favorite food. And so we can maybe hook up some of those droids to get him some favorite foods. Because I don't know if he really really deserves a whole lot. It'd be kind of fun for him though, is maybe a bound archive of Mari Santeca's star charts with annotations that he could just read. You know? That could just
He-
keep him busy for, like, ever.
Here's what I'm getting him. I'm giving him a copy of the game The Sims. And why?
Oh gosh.
Because he wanted to wipe out the entire galaxy because he went on that whole thing about the only decision that matters is the final decision. And so I don't want to give him anything organic that he can actually torture and like wipe out, but let him make all of the video game characters he wants in The Sims and ruin their lives and let that keep him occupied to the end of his days.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's fantastic.
that's
Look
that's
at
my
you.
suggestion for Marcion Rowe.
I love
So
it.
And I got Lutheran Rail
The
again, so can't
Sims.
do
That
that.
is so great.
Okay.
Who do you think
Okay.
he'd like to ruin first? I'd have to ask you. Like, what do you think would be his like obsession?
Oh, the Jedi. He'd make
Avar
Jedi
Chris.
characters, yeah, and then he'd give them all the worst jobs and constantly get them fired, and then burn down their house and everything
Oh, that's
else. But then,
hilarious.
yeah, and then if he could figure out a way to put a black hole in the Sims, he'd send them all into the black hole. So yeah, he'd torture them endlessly.
Very
All right,
creative. I love it.
my next entry that I have to come up with is Bix Colleen.
Mm.
So we have a new mom here that left Cassian because she didn't want to be a distraction from him and his devotion to the rebellion. You know that she basically left that message that this is a fight that has to be won, and she can't pull him away from that. So she left and had their baby. So she's a single mom. I am sending her like the ultimate care package. So, infant to 2-year-old diapers, new sets of onesies, a gift certificate for a nanny babysitter so she can get out and get herself taken care of. Plenty of formula because raising a baby with my partner, my wife, is hard enough. Doing it by herself, that's going to be a real challenge. So, yeah, that's what I'm
So
doing.
true.
The single parent care package.
Oh, that is so great. As soon as she came up, that was the first thing that I thought of too, was something that she could have for her and her little baby. And I also, you know what else would be really great for her is something to help her sleep because we know that she's had so much trouble with her sleep. And now that she has this baby, I'm sure that her sleep patterns are probably very much intrusive. So maybe a small, discreet little unit that blocks intrusive noise, but yet allows her to still be able to respond to her baby and, kind of a white noise machine, but she deserves some peace.
Indeed.
But yeah,
Indeed.
I like it.
Okay, so this one should be fun. You get to get a present for Neil.
Oh my gosh, from Skeleton Crew. Oh gosh, you know what I'm getting him. He loves his bubble baths. So we got to get him some new bubble bath stuff, right? He
Mhm.
absolutely loves them. So, but I always also think he's into other forms of comfort. So maybe an extra large thermal blanket, a plush creature from a distant world. I could really see Neil getting into some sort of like a nightlight, like a glow orb kind of a thing. But he's also very curious. He's very brave. He's definitely a lot more brave than some people give him credit for. But I feel like he could do a lot with maybe like a translator tool, perhaps. So when he finds himself going places and meeting new creatures, he can interact with them a little bit better because he likes to talk and he likes to be around others. And I think that that would probably be something that's right up Neil's alley. But yeah, definitely like bubble baths in all shapes and forms from all parts of the galaxy. I mean, you could go to different planets and source those different things out, different minerals from different places. You got your Epsom salts. How about some Tatooine salts? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
I'm thinking like prop lightsabers for him and Wim
Oh,
to
that's
play with.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's how we kind of met them when they were at the bus stop, pretending to
True.
be a Jedi and
Yeah.
Sith. So I don't know if that still holds the same fascination for them after their big adventure, but why not?
Right. They got to live it.
All right. So I need to come up with a gift for Lorna D.
Ooh.
Hmm. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this. But her favorite thing to do is to name things after herself. So,
So
the
true.
obvious thing would be just to give her a new ship. But why stop there? Let's give her a ship. Let's give her a restaurant. Let's give her a speeder bike. It can all be the Lorna D. Lorna D sounds like a restaurant, right? It sounds like a chef's name.
Like Chef
So
Boyardee.
yeah.
Is that what
So
you're
she
thinking?
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm
Maybe they're
giving her
related.
things that she can name after herself because as she once told Marcion Rowe right before she bit him in the neck while they were dancing, that she named her ship and everything up because she was just so interested in yelling her name at the galaxy to make sure that everyone knew she mattered. So yeah, things she can name after herself. So there we go. That's
That
what
is
I'm
so
getting
great. That is
Lauren to
so
do.
great. She's got kind of a soft side too. I mean, we saw her she cleans up pretty well when she wants to. So, maybe she would like to have some nice going out kind of wear. But I could totally see her getting more of a like maybe a special adult beverage from, again, kind of thinking the same lines as Neil, from some interesting places around the galaxy for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you should have fun with this one. What are you putting under the tree for Elzar Man?
Ooh, oh gosh. Okay. Well, of course my mind goes to he and Avar together like right
Yeah,
away.
it's a beacon.
Yeah, exactly. But Elzar also is struggling still with finding himself. And now that he is isolated and he is kind of holding up shop in holding up basically the dark side of the force on another planet, I feel like he probably might need a little time to meditate, maybe more. So perhaps some sort of focus crystal, not a kyber crystal, but maybe a fun, focus crystal that he could use. Maybe some sort of collection somehow of Avar's songs of the Force that could somehow be recreated for him to listen to while he's meditating, I think would be a lot of fun.
I was thinking just you were going to give
Um,
her a lock of her hair since they're separated on Planet X now.
Aw, that's
Yeah.
such a sweet thing to think about too. But yeah, some kind of simple reminder token maybe of Avar would be wonderful. But yeah,
I'm
or
trying
you
to
know what? Like a force mirror so he could actually see her whenever he wants to. Or is that too creepy? Sorry.
it kind of diminishes their sacrifice, I think, a little
It
bit.
does.
But
You're right. You're right.
I'm trying to think. He experiences the force as like what, an ocean? As a
Yes.
big boundless ocean.
Mhm.
So I feel like there's got to be something there, meditative wise, like as you were talking about. Like, so what are we looking at? A collection of ocean noises for a while. That
Mm.
white noise type stuff you could put on the
Yeah.
background is a
Uh-huh.
possibility. Or a big shell that he can hold up to his ear, conch shell or something like that, and hear the ocean in there. I don't know. Those are just some things that came to mind for
Yeah.
Elzar. Uh,
That's a tough
Something
one
else.
because his focus is very, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
All right, so I need to figure out the perfect gift for Mon Mothma here.
Ooh.
And wow, how do you go with that? You know, I think I know what it is. It is the chicken soup for the parent of a teenage daughter guide here, because
Who just got married.
who just
Guide.
got married against her wishes, and you know takes every opportunity to disrespect her mom at the same time. And so, you know, look, I don't want to pretend that my boys haven't been good kids. They, as far as teenagers go, I've been fairly lucky with the way that I've had with what I've had to put up with them, which has not been bad. But I feel like Mon has just been abused by her daughter at every opportunity. So yeah, something to remind her that she can get through this. And frankly, I don't, Jesus, she even get to see her daughter much after the end of Andor for some time until the end of the Galactic Civil
Right.
War.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because as we know from the Alexander Freed book, she's a little busy.
yeah, yeah. And I just, yeah. I wonder what happened to the kids, to her daughter and her son-in-law after
Oh,
she
there's
went.
got to be a story to tell there somewhere
Yeah, did they have to
for
flee or
sure.
did they get arrested because out of spite by the Empire? I wouldn't put that past the ISB. Huh.
Mhm, mhm. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good
Yeah.
point. And that's a great gift. I would probably get her something from Chandrila just because she's so rooted in her home world. I mean, there's so much rich tradition and culture there, and I just feel like she's got such culture herself, and I feel like she would enjoy a good tea. So, I don't know, like some hand-carved Chandrilan teacups
Mm-hmm.
for her.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
A new Changeling dress, because kind of see her
Oh,
at the end of
yeah.
Andor, or you know what? her hair. She needs a visit from one of those Chandrillan beauticians because
Perfect.
there's a definite difference in her look at the end of season 2 of Andor compared to earlier when she doesn't have access to that stuff anymore. So,
It's so true.
all right, this one was handpicked for you. What do you get for Asajj Ventress?
Ooh. Oh, what do I not get for Asajj Ventress? Oh boy. Okay. Well, where do we want to pick this up from? Do we want to pick this up from the Tales of the Underworld or just anywhere in universe?
Well, you can do whatever you want, but the reason why she's on this list is because we did have Tales of the Underworld this year. So I'll leave it up to
Right.
you. Mhm.
Right. Gosh, where do I want to go with this? I mean, she's definitely got her, again, roots and heritage with the Night Sisters. So, gosh, I don't even know if there's any way to somehow get her a little terrarium with maybe some Dathomiri flora in it that she could reminisce on. I don't know, that's kind of silly. Um, Maybe a bottle of something strong and illegal for her, she enjoys that kind of thing. Wow, that's really hard. A credit chip with no ledger, maybe. So she could just go out and spend it kind of like a gift card. She can go out and spend it any way she wants. There's no tracking, there's no way to trace what she's spending. She can just go out and have at it. I kind of like that one.
All right.
I'm going
All
to go with
right.
that one. All three. How about all three? What about you? What would you get her?
A good question. I mean, there she is at the end of Tales of the Underworld, and she's now got a sidekick in Lyco Strata. So, that was someone she was eager to get rid of at first, and now they're partners in there. That he
Yeah.
abandoned an opportunity to go with the path in order to spend time with her. So I'm trying to figure out what it is because I have a feeling he's going to get on her nerves an awful lot.
You think?
So yeah, so something to help distract her, but I'm not sure on that
Something
one.
strong and something illegal. No, I'm
Or
kidding.
maybe something to distract him.
Yeah, there you go.
The cat toy for Lycostrata. I'm not sure what that is,
Right.
but we'll come back to that. So okay,
Fun.
the next one that I on my list is Wreath Silas.
Ooh.
Yeah, hmm. He's after what's his face, Aslan.
Well,
Yeah, Rel.
that's
After at the
enough.
end of
Yeah.
the High Republic, who's fallen to the dark side and had just bled his lightsaber, but Wreath is most at home in the Jedi archives.
Yes.
So I am getting him an Amazon Kindle loaded with books and stories. So while he is in hyperspace, going from place to place, trying to track down Aslan, he's got something to read because that's when he seems to be happiest. So
Yes.
bit more of a
I think
practical
that's
gift than
perfect.
a funny one, but also
Mhm.
perhaps a bit obvious. So, but we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. No, I would totally go with something like that too, or some
Yeah.
kind of like copy of an ancient Jedi text that he could just lose himself in.
Mhm.
That's perfect for him.
So, what do you want to do for Deidre Miro?
Get her some earplugs so that she doesn't have to listen to Cyril's mom anymore. No, gosh, she is just so beautiful. I love her style. I love the way that she's able to command a room, I guess you could
Mhm.
say. She's very ruthless, and we, saw her meet a very, very bad fate there. However, I think, with her ISB background and everything that she has done up to this point, especially with Cyril, there's some things I think that she probably needs. And for her, ooh, gosh, I love her sense of style. So I don't know. I guess I would maybe give her more of a like a free fashion route to maybe get her some fun things to wear. This is so hard because she seems like the kind of person that might be easy to buy for at first, and then when you start thinking about it, not so much.
You get the impression with Deidre that you like give her the gift, she'd open it. What's this? Oh, thank you. And she just put aside. And that's like the
Yeah.
only reaction. It doesn't matter how perfect it is. That's like the only reaction
Right.
you get. And I'm also thinking about the home that she had with Cyril. That was like the
Right.
starkest, whitest place ever. Ultimate minimalism there.
Mhm.
Ultimately, I think I'm getting her the same thing I'm getting Wreath. She's in prison. She's on a Kina 5 at the end of this. So get her that loaded Kindle so she's at least got something to do in her downtime when they're, not on station or not doing work.
This is true. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
All right. So we'll do one more here before we wrap it up for the holidays. And I need to come up with a gift for Buri Yaga. Uh,
Aw.
yeah. So what to get for Buri? You know what? I know exactly to get for Buri. At the end of phase 1, he hid himself inside of a rathtar and plunged to the bottom of the ocean and then found himself in an underwater cave, and he began plucking out his own hair so he could use
Mhm.
that to send messages to the surface. And at the end of Trials of the Jedi, he got burned up by Ember some as he was trying to rescue her during the fight with Marchion Ro. So if there is ever a person or a Wookiee in need of Rogaine hair club for Wookiees, it is him. He needs to regrow some hair in a major way and get that plush sheen back to his pelt. So I'm going to help him
Great.
get over his injuries with that, and so he can get back to looking like the luxurious and splendid Wookiee that he is.
I love it. Instead of Dr. Squatch, he gets Dr. Wookie.
Yeah,
Custom
indeed.
fur grooming kit. I love that. I love that. Or some scented balm, for
Yeah.
his hair. That's great.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what else I think he would really appreciate as well is some sort of like life day token, from a Kashyyyk tree, from one of the Rocher trees
Yeah.
or something from the Wookiee history. I think he would really appreciate that too. Or maybe even, you know, he could perhaps get a custom leash that he could take Ember on walks just, for
Yeah,
himself.
I think I
He
give
could
that to
have some
Belle.
alone time with Ember because it's kind of like
Yeah.
his surrogate pet too, because he and Belle are such good friends.
Yeah, best friends. They're for certain. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure. There was a bunch of droids on this list that we didn't get to, like SM-33 and K2SO, and
Mm,
I mean beyond the obviously certificate for an oil bath. Um,
right.
I would love to see those two have a conversation. Could you
Oh,
imagine that?
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Hmm. And
That
then
would be a gift to us for
indeed,
sure.
indeed. All right. Well, I think we hit all the big shows and pieces of content that we talked about this year. So this seems like as good a place as any to go ahead and wrap up our holiday episode of Podcast Artists. So thank
Fun.
you all for joining us. We hope you're able to put your smile on your face on the Christmas Eve here, and that you all have a great holiday tomorrow if you're celebrating. And if not, then enjoy the day off because it is a federal holiday and most of us should not be working. But if you haven't done so, go ahead and please consider subscribing to the podcast, and you'll get all the content that we've got coming up in 2026. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more and sometime in the next few episodes because we got plans for the year and some new segments that
Mhm.
we want to start debuting. And we also appreciate your ratings and reviews. Those do help get the show noticed by others. The algorithm basks and those type of things. So I don't know exactly how it works. Don't need to. I just know it does. And then if you want to find the entire back catalog of the show, one of the best places you can do that is over at retrozapp.com. You can find the entire Retrozap podcast network and all the good shows that are there. Jay, you want to go ahead and remind everybody one more time about our social media contacts and where else we can be found online?
Yeah, and y'all are already giving us the best gift by listening to us. And if you want to continue to keep your gift giving going for us, you can always look us up on our socials, which are Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. And please share those out with your friends as well. And we have tons of boards over on Pinterest with lots and lots of fun ideas for everything Star Wars. So you can check those out. And then we have our two YouTube outlets. So we have our traditional YouTube and YouTube Music. And both of those have all of our episodes, as well as the ability for you to subscribe. Once again, share those out and, let us know if there's anything that you think we missed as far as the gift giving goes. If you have any ideas for these characters or any other characters that are your favorites that you'd like to do some gift giving to, we'd love to hear it. And if you want to drop us a line at our email, that is podcaststardust@gmail.com. Send us your questions, your reactions, and we just love to hear from you in general, and we'll read those on the show. And we're also looking for those questions for a listener question episode, so please get those in as well. And then last but not least, you can always support the show by giving us the gift of your support on TeePublic. So TeePublic has 7 different podcast Podcast Stardust logos available on all kinds of things, from t-shirts and sweatshirts to home goods like coffee mugs and the like. So once again, the link to that is in our show notes.
All right, upcoming on the show on Friday, the current plan is to do some Star Wars news. I'm a little skeptical about that because it is the week of Christmas, and I just don't anticipate there being a whole lot of announcements. But we'll see what happens, and if there's not news, there'll be something else that comes out that day. And then on Monday, we are getting back into the Clone Wars rewatch, so make sure you stick around for that. But thanks for listening to episode 982 of Podcast Stardust, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great Christmas if you're celebrating, and until next time, be with the Force.